Welcome to today's video. Imagine a disease so powerful that it wiped out nearly half of Europe's population, reshaped society, transformed economies, and even altered religion and culture forever. That disease was the Black Death. In this video, we'll explore how the plague spread, how people reacted, and how it changed the course of European history in ways that still affect us today. Let's dive in. In the year 1347, a devastating plague known as the Black Death made its first appearance in Europe. This deadly disease, also referred to as the bubonic plague, is believed to have originated in Central Asia and traveled westward along trade routes, such as the Silk Road. It was brought to Europe by merchant ships, particularly through the bustling port of Messina in Sicily. In just a matter of months, the plague spread like wildfire across Italy, France, and eventually the entire continent, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. The Black Death was transmitted through fleas that lived on black rats, and it spread rapidly due to the poor hygiene and crowded living conditions of the time. Once infected, individuals suffered from a range of symptoms, including swollen lymph nodes, high fever, chills, and dark blotches on the skin, which ultimately gave the plague its ominous name. The impact of the Black Death was truly staggering. Historians estimate that between 30 to 50% of Europe's population succumbed to the disease within just a few short years. The once thriving cities were left in ruins, villages were abandoned, and mass graves became a hauntingly common sight. This devastating chapter in history serves as a grim reminder of the catastrophic consequences that can arise from the rapid spread of infectious diseases. It is a poignant testament to the importance of maintaining hygiene and implementing effective public health measures. The Black Death left an indelible. The sudden and terrifying nature of the Black Death sparked extreme fear and confusion. Medicine at the time was primitive, and doctors had no real understanding of germs or infection. Many believed the plague was God's punishment for humanity's sins. Religious processions and acts of penance became common, with some groups of flagellants whipping themselves in public as a way to seek forgiveness. Unfortunately, fear also led to violence. Minority groups, especially Jewish communities, were scapegoated and accused of poisoning wells. Pogroms and massacres broke out in many regions, adding human tragedy to the natural disaster. Yet the crisis also sparked curiosity about medicine and science, as people desperately searched for answers beyond religious explanations. This would later play a role in the slow rise of more scientific approaches to disease. The Black Death, also known as the plague, left a lasting impact on the economy during the 14th century. With a significant portion of the population wiped out by the disease, labor became scarce. As a result, fields across the nation went unplowed, and entire industries suffered from a lack of workers. However, for the peasants and workers who survived, this shortage created new opportunities. Wages began to rise, and many laborers were able to demand better working conditions. In fact, some historians argue that the Black Death helped weaken the old feudal system, as the peasants gained more bargaining power and freedom. On the other hand, landowners faced financial difficulties as there were fewer tenants to work the land. As a result, many estates fell into decline. This redistribution of wealth and power set the stage for long-term social changes that would reshape the economy for years to come. The Black Death had a profound impact on the economic landscape of the time. The scarcity of labor created new opportunities for workers, leading to higher wages and improved working conditions. At the same time, landowners struggled as their estates fell into decline due to the lack of workers. Ultimately, this redistribution of wealth and power set the stage for long-term social changes and helped weaken the old feudal system. The effects of the plague on the economy were far-reaching, shaping the economic and social landscape for years to come. The Black Death, a devastating pandemic that swept through Europe in the 14th century, had a profound impact on the continent's culture. The trauma left by this deadly disease was reflected in the art and literature of the time, which became filled with images of death, skeletons, and the fragility of life. This prevalent theme, known as memento mori, served as a stark reminder of the impermanence of life and the inevitability of death. The widespread suffering caused by the Black Death also shook the foundations of religious faith. While some turned to the church for solace and guidance in the face of such a calamity, others began to question the efficacy of prayers and rituals in stopping the spread of the plague. This growing skepticism towards religious authorities laid the groundwork for later movements, such as the Renaissance and the Protestant Reformation, which challenged the traditional power structures of the Catholic Church. Furthermore, the philosophical and worldviews of the people of Europe underwent a significant shift as a result of the Black Death. The overwhelming loss of life caused individuals to contemplate the nature of existence more deeply, leading to a greater emphasis on critical thinking about life, death, and human existence. This cultural transformation, accelerated by the plague, ultimately propelled Europe out of the medieval period and into a more modern era of intellectual and artistic innovation. In conclusion, the trauma of the Black Death left deep marks on European culture that reverberated through art, literature, religion, and philosophy. The suffering and uncertainty caused by the pandemic forced individuals to confront the fragility of life and spurred a period of profound cultural change that would shape the future of the continent for centuries to come. The Black Death, a devastating plague that swept through Europe in the 14th century, left a lasting impact on the continent. Even after the initial wave, the plague returned multiple times over the centuries, but its first outbreak had the greatest impact. It reshaped demographics, economies, religion, and even politics. By reducing Europe's population, the Black Death created space for new opportunities, urban growth, and innovation. With fewer people, there was a shift in labor dynamics, leading to an increase in wages and the rise of a new middle class. This allowed for economic growth and the development of new industries. Additionally, the scarcity of labor prompted advancements in technology and farming practices, leading to an increase in agricultural productivity. The plague also had a profound impact on European society and culture. With a significant decrease in the population, there was a shift in power dynamics. The feudal system began to crumble as peasants and serfs gained more bargaining power, leading to social change and a rethinking of traditional social structures. The devastation caused by the Black Death also led to a reevaluation of religious beliefs, as people sought answers and solace in the face of such widespread suffering. Some historians argue that without the Black Death, the Renaissance might not have come as quickly. The plague forced Europeans to rethink old systems and beliefs, paving the way for new ideas and cultural advancements. The Renaissance, with its focus on humanism and innovation, was a direct response to the societal upheaval caused by the Black Death. In the end, the Black Death was both a human tragedy and a turning point in history. It showed how fragile societies could be, but also how resilient people were in adapting to catastrophe. Its legacy can still be traced in the modern world and in medicine, in social structures, and in the way we view pandemics today. The lessons learned from the Black Death continue to shape our understanding of public health and the importance of preparedness in the face of global health crises.